Hey everybody, I'm here with the 120 Minute IPA from Dogfish Head. Let's talk about it. Alright, this is difficult for me to get because we live in a state that doesn't allow beer to have this high in ABV. So I came across a bottle of this. I've been drinking Dogfish Head for probably 9 years now. And I've had the 60 minute, had the 90 minute. Dogfish Head finally caught on in my town a couple years ago. But nothing really more than the 60-minute IPA. Took people a long time to get hip to the Dogfish Head, and in fairness, it was difficult to get around here. The thing I don't like about IPAs is the freaking culture around it. You know what? Let's just get to it. I got my hipster hat on. I got a Dogfish Head glass and a Dogfish Head can opener because I'm that kind of guy. I don't just buy their beer. I support them directly with a little merch purchasing. That goes a long way for businesses. You'll never really get it unless you have a business that has merch. So yeah, I have all the merch, so let's get it done. Let's see here. Let's crack her open. I mean, right off the bat, as soon as you crack this thing, you smell it. As soon as that top popped, I could smell that son of a gun. Now this has been sitting out, I've had it in the refrigerator, but I let it sit out and get her to around 50-ish degrees. I think that's what Sam said to do, let it sit out for 20 minutes, half hour before you drink it. So I've done that. And I've got my Dogfish Head glass. Let's pour it. Ginger carefully. I like to do that. I know that some people are anti-flourish at the end, but I like to. I've already ran a few beers through this. Very fruity. I didn't think I'd get this like fanboy over it, but my God, that is fruity. Not too dark. You'd expect it to be darker, but it's not. Very fruity, very floral, too. Very aromatic. Doesn't smell of you know, a lot of bitter things will have a bitter smell, but it's very, very floral, very earthen. Cheers. Wow, it's not, you expect it to be punch you in the mouth bitter, but it is not. And part of that is due to the process. They're putting hops in, what was it, every minute for 120 minutes. So you have hops that have been cooking for 120 minutes and you have hops that have only cooked for a minute, and you can really tell. It's very bitter. It's very bitter on the aftertaste, but it is it's very drinkable. It is a 21%? I think it's like a 20 or a 21%. I'm working off memory here. I know the Ohio State law is like 13 point some nonsense and above for beer is illegal. So it's got to be at least 13%. But I think they had a Palo Santo Marion that was like a 12 or a 13%. And it was legal in Ohio. So I'm pretty sure this is like either high teens or low 20s in alcohol. But you don't get a lot of the alcohol, like mouth burn. You get a little in the aftertaste, but not much. It coats your mouth too. It coats your mouth in almost a syrupy way. I would think that's the best way I can describe that. It has a very bitter aftertaste. I will say that. The flavor that lingers in your mouth is very bitter, but not bad. It sounds weird to say, but it's almost like really hot sauce. There's hot sauce that's just mouth-stingingly hot, but has garbage flavor. But there's some hot sauces that are extremely hot and have wonderful flavor and complexity in that heat, which makes it enjoyable. The stuff that just stings the hell out of your mouth sucks. But the stuff that stings the hell out of your mouth and also has a really, really, really pleasing flavor, which there are a lot out there, that's kind of good. So this bitterness that you get from being so hop heavy isn't like a bad bitter. Like if you take a dandelion green, pick it right out of the ground and chew on it, that's just a disgusting bitter. But with this, it's very, I don't know, it's almost not bitter. Does that make sense? It's almost not bitter at all. It's almost so bitter, but the ingredients are of such high quality that it almost isn't bitter. It just has a really, I'm trying to see when it was bottled. This was bottled in, that can't be right. Yeah, that definitely can't be right. That's got to be a 6. This was bottled in 2016, so this is 3 years old potentially. I could be reading that wrong. It says December of 2000. It looks to me like it says December of 2018, but I got it in the summer of 2018, so it's got to be a 16. But it's like it's like a dot matrix printer where it's just dots, so it kind of looks like an 8, but it's probably a 6. Now I know a lot of you probably absolutely hate the way I'm drinking this, but for me it's the way that I drink and get the most flavor out of it. This is very, it explodes on your tongue. That's kind of what's coating your mouth. Like when you take a sip of it, it sort of coats your whole mouth with a dense foamy bubble almost. It's very good. It's very good. It's almost creamy. I'd say it's almost creamy. It's definitely not crisp. If you're a person that loves crisp beers, this is not. I'm not sure anyone could drink this and call it crisp. It's crisp in that it's fizzy, but it's not like a crisp flavor, like that just hits your tongue for a moment and fleets. This sticks around for a while. It's very warming. And part of that's the alcohol. Like the alcohol is just on the level, just one notch under being detectable. That's the way I can explain the alcohol. But as far as just the mouth coating, I don't know. Just drink some more. This would go great with a steak. I'm a chef, so I'm thinking about this from for food. Like, what would I eat with this? I would not eat chicken with this. I would not eat. You know what would go really good with a potato salad? This would be a great late spring, early fall drink. Where I'm from, in the sort of Midwest, where it gets like 67 degrees, where you want to have a picnic, you want to have a barbecue, but it's not quite warm enough, so you got to have like a situation like this where you have like a t-shirt and a long sleeve shirt or a flannel or something like that. Not quite light jacket weather. A little breezy maybe. Crisp air. This would be perfect with it. This, a brat, and some potato salad. Ugh. I don't even want to think about it now. Or a nice steak. This would go great with a steak à poivre. Probably not saying that right. I'm not too familiar with it. I know how to cook it, but I don't know how to say it. And what that is, it's like a steak. You know, you make a steak, and then in the drippings, you put some cream and like Worcestershire sauce, or however you want to say it, and put that in there and reduce it down and make like a cream sauce, maybe some like coarse ground black pepper, and then pour it over the steak. It's really delicious. This would be perfect with that. Like, I'm trying to think of what else. You wouldn't want chicken with this. Like a gratin would go really good. Like, this would be great with a cheesy gratin, because it's very like floral. It's heavy and creamy, but it's still floral. So like with maybe with like a brie cheese and crackers, like baked brie, have like a honey glaze and a baked brie. Well, the honey glaze would go on the baked brie, obviously. It's a glaze. Dumb. Maybe some like walnuts or pecans. Pecans for me on top. Maybe some spring onions, and maybe some cream cheese too. Havarti would go really good. This would go great with Havarti cheese. A grilled cheese sandwich made with Havarti and some garlic and like thyme. Just herbs. Whatever herbs you got laying around would work. I'm going nuts over this. This is a cascade of possibilities. Go great with a brat. It'd just be a really well done brat. And you say, well, what do you mean by a well done brat? I don't mean cooked well done. I mean it done well. What I would do was I'd slow cook a brat on the grill, and just keep it on like a top rack to where it's just it's slowly. It might take them an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, but for whatever reason, I really like to cook brats that way. I just think doing it very, very low temperature, you know, just where probably the kind of temperature I'm talking about would be something you could put your hand over the grill for about 4 seconds. Put your hand about that far off the grill, and if you can hold it there for about 4 seconds, that's the temperature. Yeah, that's how I cook steaks too, by the way. The temperature, when I really want to do a steak, a high quality steak, I'll do like 2 seconds. The 2 second ouch rule. 1, 2, ouch. That's the tip. That's where I cook when I want a real heavy crust on a steak. But if I just want a more generally cooked steak, I'll do a 3 second ouch. You know, but if you really want a hard sear, you gotta just get your shit ripping hot. Go great with pork, any kind of pork. Any kind of pork. It's got a kind of an apple. The more I zone in on it, it's got kind of a citrusy apple, heavy on the apple. So it'd go great with a pork chop, a brat, pork loin, ribs. Oh, that'd be great with barbecued ribs. Oh my gosh, this would be great with barbecue ribs. That one was heavy. That was like very alcoholic. Whew. It's intense. Let me do a re-smelling here. I'm gonna try and clear my palate off a little bit. Open up my nasal passages as much as possible. Yeah, it becomes very appley. I don't know if that's just because maybe those flavors are lingering on my taste buds more, but it's kind of appley. Very effervescent. And yes, I do like to shake my beer around a little. I think it helps. Now, the technique I'm using to smell this is kind of an old wine technique, where a lot of people just will smell it with the nose, and that works, but a lot of your smell, like I draw air in through my mouth too, so I get close and I kind of put the cup between my mouth and smell in with both my nose and my mouth, and that really is a great way to smell it. Oh, I had some flashing numbers on my screen there. I didn't know what the heck those meant. I've only drank a quarter of this so far, so let's get knocking on it here. I wouldn't, now this is going to sound derogatory, I wouldn't call it refreshing. If you're looking for a refreshing beer, this one ain't it for you, partner. This one is like if you had a big cigar. You know that feeling where it's late summer, it's very hot, kind of humidish, but your whole life is going pretty well. You pretty much like what you're doing every day. Be at work or just your personal life. Everything's going good. You have a stretch of a few days where the weather's just great. It's starting to look like it might become autumnal, but still very dank and hot. And you just you feel good. You want to relax, have a big juicy steak, or a cigar, or both. And this would be a perfect beer for that. Just a heavy sort of manly man, or just a big heavy beer. And it goes, like I said, it would go great with a steak or some big heavy meat like that. Thick cut pork chop. Good ribeye. I wouldn't have this with like a skirt steak and a fajita situation. No, but. It's just, you can tell it's of high quality. And as it decants, now of course, when I first opened that, like I said, you get a smack of aromas, but it's been 10-15 minutes and I've been jabbering on about this, and it's decanting rather nicely. It gets much smoother as it decants too. Not that it isn't smooth, but you know what I mean. It just really mellows and evens out as it decants and sort of starts to aerate. Pork belly glazed with honey, star anise or star anise. Why do people want to call it star anise? Star anise. Star anise. They'll say anise. Glazed over a pork belly that's sort of been braised. This would be perfect with that. This is going to be the oddest pairing I can think of, but it would work. Like a tuna salad sandwich. Like tuna salad with, would be really good is a tuna salad with just a mayonnaise, a smack of mustard, drawing a blank here, eggs. I like a lot of eggs in my tuna salad. I know you can probably tell. And then just salt, pepper. I put a little pinch of garlic in it, and it'd be really good with that on like a rye bread, like maybe a marbled rye. The other sandwiches would go even better with would be a chicken salad. Now I said earlier it wouldn't go good with chicken, but this isn't pure chicken. Get a rotisserie chicken and pick it and make a chicken salad out of it, and chop up pecans, medium I'd say, chop them about medium. Just a tiny bit of, you know what I put in is shallots. Shallots, and then a little extra garlic, salt, pepper, maybe a few spring onions, but maybe not. No, leave the spring onions out. A little parsley for color, and then grape quarters. Now, you say grape quarters, you're getting awful specific. Yeah, because the difference between a grape quarter and a grape half and a chicken salad makes all the difference in the world. Grape quarters, and this would be great. The grapes would complement the citrusy floral notes of the beer, and the big heavy beer would go well with the mayonnaise and stuff in the chicken salad. And just the flavors of the rotisserie, because rotisserie chickens are usually pretty herbal. And if the rotisserie chicken you get isn't herbal, like it doesn't have a bunch of herbs packed on it, throw a little bit of thyme. Chop some thyme up pretty fine and put in there too. Even if you just got like shakeable thyme, you know, and your herb rack that you've never used. I'm a chef, and I got an herb rack one time. I won it at a food show, truth be told. It was like a spinning carousel thing. It was great. It looked great. The concept was great. I've never really used anything off of it. I don't know why. I always go for, you know, what I need is never in that thing for some reason. And I have a spice rack, or a cabinet rather. It's a 3-tiered deal, and it's chock full. And you're going to have to make a different spice situation. But anyway, back to the beer. And this far down the line, it's still surprisingly carbonated. Now, I'm a lightweight when it comes to alcohol. Like 2 beers and I'm drunk. 1 beer and I won't allow myself to drive. Like if we're going out to dinner and I'm driving, even if I know we're going to be sitting there a long time chatting, because I like to take a long time eating when we're going out to eat. I'm one of those people. Sorry, not sorry. I won't even drink a beer with like a steak and a bunch of potatoes and stuff if I have to drive. But if I don't have to drive, then I'll have a beer, because that's how lightweight I am. But this, when I finish this, it'll be half a bottle, and I can notice that I have been drinking alcohol. I had another beer before I had this one, so that didn't help. But to summarize, wrap this up, it's what you would expect from Dogfish Head. Very high quality beer, very drinkable, very stout, heavy, but very drinkable, delicious. You can distinctly tell it was made with skill and very high quality products by people who actually care about what they're doing and what they're producing, and they don't compromise on anything when it comes to flavor and quality. And I should say just overall quality. You can tell, like I said, it's very hard to get in my state, but it will be something I'll be picking up. And as the bottle says, it ages well. Like I said, I've had this for 6-7 months myself, and allegedly, I'm assuming it was made in 2016, bottled in 2016, and probably been sitting on the shelf at the place I got it for quite a while, because I doubt it can't be a high volume thing. There can't be tons of people sucking these down. Like, this isn't something you stand around a bonfire and slug back beers with your buddies. This isn't it. It's a slow sipper. It's something that, it'd be great to split with somebody. It's 12 ounces, but 6 ounces would be enough for most people. But it would be great to share. Again, just super high quality. If you're having any trepidations about trying it, just try it. You'll enjoy it. It seems, especially if you've had the 90-minute IPA, it can seem very, very bitter, but this is very, very mellow. You have a lot of unfermented sugars in this, so it is very sweet. Like I said, it's creamy, it's effervescent, it's not crisp. But all in all, very, very good beer, and I suggest highly picking some up and telling me what you think about it. If you're finding this on the YouTubes, you can tell that I do not do these things on my YouTube channel because it's mainly just a place where I store the goofy nonsense that I do in my other videos, and so there won't be more of these, I don't think, unless I got a bunch of people that want me to try other Dogfish Head products or something else and tell you what they go well with. I'll tell you what they go well with. I'm a chef. I own my own restaurant. I cook 6 days a week, all day. I'm very familiar, and I eat too. I'm not a skinny person, as you can tell. So if you want to hear some more food pairings with your favorite beers, just tell me which ones to try, and I'll do my best to get them. I like doing this sort of stuff, but I don't think anybody out there really cares. So don't subscribe. This is a nonsense thing. So if you've watched this long, I can't believe it. So thanks, everybody. I had a fun time making it. If you want to subscribe, I may make some more in the future. But whatever. We'll see how it goes. Have a good time. If you try this, let me know what you think about it in the doobly-doo down at the bottom. If you have any questions, I want you to throw them down. So have a good night.